Hey guys, Robert here. Today we're going to be venturing into Modern. So, from this point forward, whenever I post anything on a Modern deck, Modern is one of my favorite formats. But I do play a lot of the more tier decks. However, I build them in the most weird ways possible. So, a lot of the foundation of the decks will still be there, but there's just going to be some weird additions that you normally wouldn't see in those archetypes. So today we're going to be talking about burn. And to start this list off, I'm going to go with your normal traditional burn cards. So here, Grim Lava Mansa, 1 mana, 1/1. Pay red, tap him, exile 2 cards from your graveyard, deal 2 damage to a creature or player. Probably the most important burn card. Playset of Lightning Bolts, 1 mana, 3 damage. We're going into 2 Eidolon of the Great Revels, 3 Monastery Swift Spears, 1 mana, 1/2 Haste Prowess, 3 Skullcracks, 2 mana, 3 damage that can't be prevented, players can't gain life. 2 Rift Bolts, 2 Hatarka's Command. I guess I should have said this is Gruul burn, not Naya burn, so yeah, there's that. 2 mana, green and red, choose 2. Your opponents can't gain life this turn, deal 3 damage to each opponent. You can put a land from your hand on the battlefield, or creatures you control get +1/+1 and reach until end of turn. Playset of Goblin Guides. 1 mana, 2/2 haste. Whenever you attack, spinning player reveals the top card of their library. If it's a land, that player can put it into their hand. Playset of Lava Spike. 1 mana, 3 damage to face every time. And here is for a little bit of the weird stuff. So I'm playing 1 Flames of the Bloodhand, 3 mana instant, 4 damage to target player. Damage can't be prevented. If that player would gain life this turn, that player gains no life instead. So it's another Skullcrack. I think the reason I put that in there is mainly because I only have 3 Skullcracks. So, yeah, there's that. 1 Flame Javelin. We're always going to go red, red, red. But it's 3 red, deal 4 damage to target creature or player. 1 Tireless Tracker. In here for card advantage because the biggest problem that I've had with burn over the years, burn was what I started playing Magic with too, by the way. Once you empty your hand, you're pretty much gonna lose the game. Like, it's very hard to come back from an empty hand and burn, especially if you're stuck in a position where you're having to use your burn on their creatures or various other things instead of going to their face. So Tireless Tracker kind of helps solve that problem, and it's a 1/of, so we are playing 4 copies of Vexing Devil. So pretty much this guy either eats a removal spell or he's attacking for 4 every turn. But the biggest thing is most of the time I want them to take the 4 damage. I like cards that give options. We got another card that gives options. We'll go over it here in a second. 2 Magma Jets, mainly here for the Scry 2, but it's 2 mana, 2 damage to creature or player, Scry 2, so we can smooth out our draws and hopefully hit more burn, because we don't really ever want to see more than 3 or 4 lands. The occasional 4 land is good, but most of the time 3 lands is going to hold us. And the 4 lands is for the rare occasion that we need to cast a Bloodbraid Elf. We're playing a full playset. 4 mana, 3/2 haste, Cascade. So there's a lot of things in here that Cascade could potentially win us the game. By the time we can cast Bloodbraid Elf, if we Cascade into any burn spell, most of the time we're just going to win on the spot. And the last weird card of the deck before we get into the mana base, we are playing 3 Browbeat. 3 mana. Unless a player has Browbeat, deal 5 damage to him or her. Target player draws 3 cards. So this card does 2 things. 1, it Lava Axe for 3 mana. And if they choose to not take the 5 damage, they just pretty much refilled your hand. Again, if they let you draw cards, you've kind of solved the problem of being empty-handed and burn. If they take the 5 damage, well, they just put themselves a whole lot closer to being dead. Great card. I love this card. It is amazing. Alright, so into the mana base. 1 forest, 5 mountains, 1 stomping ground, 1 cinder glade. Cinder glade because later on in the game, like turn 3, if we've already got a couple basics, we can fetch this stuff instead of stomping grounds and deal less damage to ourselves. 1 sheltered thicket. Mainly here because we never really want to play this land. It's only here for the cycle. So later on in the game when we get it and we need those few extra points of burn, we can pitch this to hopefully get a burn spell. 3 wooded foothills. Playset of Copperline Gorge, red-green fast land. 2 Raging Ravines, turns into a 3/3 for 4 mana that whenever it attacks it gets a 1/1 counter, so this is also a late game card. We do have a few mid-range elements in here with Blood Braids, Tireless Trackers, and these, so this gives us a little bit of resilience to decks that want to make it go long game. And 1 Kessig Wolf Run, mainly just to, if it's coming down to a battle where we're getting in a lot of combat damage, we need to get in that extra few points of damage. Kessig Wolf Run can help us round it out and close games. And to our sideboard, 3 Direfleet Daredevils. Daredevils are here. So not the mirror match. Mirror match, these are actually not really that beneficial because they're not getting us damage in as fast as we want. But decks that are playing heavy creature based strategies with their natural control elements, so that we can play these guys, fatal push their stuff with their things, path their stuff with their things. If they're anything with lightning bolts besides the mirror, it gets us in extra damage. So he's a very, very versatile card and can be used against a lot of different decks. Now for the mirror matchup, Obstinate Baloth, 4 mana 4/4, gains us 4 life. And I guess he would actually be good against a 8-rack too, wouldn't he? Yeah. You can just discard him, put him in a play, gain 4 life, and you've got a beater that they've got to deal with. Against any deck that wants to play multiple spells in a single turn, like Storm for 1, 2 copies of Scab Clan Berserker, 3 mana 2/2 haste renown 1. Whenever an opponent casts a non-creature spell, if Scab Clan Berserker is renowned, it deals 2 damage to that player. So if we're going against, like, say, Storm, the biggest thing we're going to be doing is killing their Brawls and their Electromancers. Try to keep the board field to keep them from storming off so we can get this guy down, attack, and then just stop their plan altogether, because they're not going to cast enough spells to storm off and kill us with him out if he's renowned. 1 Glorious End, just because I see the potential for this card to be broken, and I really like this card. 2 Relics, anything graveyard based. 1 Savage Alliance for anything that's playing an abundance of 1/1s. So, in fact, it'd be too slow for Boggles. Anything with Lingering Souls. Yeah, there's a few matchups where this is good. 1 Vexing Shusher, 2 mana 2/2, can't be countered. Pay 1 hybrid, green or red. Target spell can't be countered by spells or ability this turn. Well, yeah, that's control matchup card. Destructive Revelry for any artifact or enchantment based deck for that matter. And 2 Thrun the Last Troll. 4 mana, 4/4 can't be countered. It has hexproof. And 2 mana to regenerate him. This is good in a wide variety of matchups, especially if we want to try to sideboard in to make this more of a mid-range deck. Thrun the Last Troll will always go in those scenarios, and he can go in and just in a lot of matchups. Anything where you can't keep any creatures down on the board and they're trying to make it go a little bit longer than you want it to go, bring Thrun in and he instantly punishes them, and they will have a hand full of removal that can't deal with him. So yeah, that was my take on Gruul Burn. I have play tested the deck some. It's pretty fun. It has some really good matchups and a few bad matchups. Like for instance, one of the bad matchups, any deck similar to Hollow One, pretty bad matchup for us. But then like Jund, Mirror Match and Eye Burn is gonna be a better matchup for us. So yeah, there's the deck. Like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.